Minnesota, she was just found stabbed 14 times. Minnesota is rapidly becoming a Sharia swamp thanks to the liberal politicians who keep allowing Somali Muslims to invade the city at an alarming rate. Over the summer, the nation was left in shock and horror after a Somali Muslim cop gunned down white woman Justine Damond in cold blood after she called 911 to report a crime in her neighborhood. Now another unthinkable crime has been taken out in an eerily similar manner by another Somali Muslim in Minnesota, and the propaganda arm of mainstream media is already kicked into high gear to bury the violent story. Ever since Justine Damond was gunned down in cold blood, the local Somali Muslim community have grown excessively cocky, realizing that they can pretty much do whatever the hell they want. The Somali Muslim populace has been out in full force tormenting locals, where white women are constantly threatened with rape and violence. Now another American woman horrifically attacked after the brutal near-death assault she endured at the hands of the very same Muslims that liberals are so hell-bent on protecting. WND reported. Morgan Evanson was walking home in downtown Minneapolis on the evening of December 13 when a black man got out of his car, chased her down, tackled her and repeatedly thrust a 3/4-inch blade into her flailing body. The 26-year-old computer store clerk frantically fought back, kicking, scratching and screaming for help. At some point, neighbors heard her screams and came to her aid. Her attacker, described as a Somali man in his early 20s, about 5'7" with a slight build and wearing gray stone-washed jeans, fled. Evanson was left bleeding on the curb with 14 stab wounds on her arms, neck and back. Her kidney was lacerated. She was lucky to survive. It happened while she was walking home from the Apple store, where she worked, about 8 blocks away from her apartment. That's when the man attacked her for no apparent reason. Police, who have not made any arrests in the case, are calling it a botched robbery. Evanson told KSDP she struggled with her attacker at the corner of 32nd Street and Fremont Avenue and she considers herself lucky to be alive. It was horrifying, because I could feel something that felt like it was stinging me, but it was him stabbing me, she said. Doctors told me I had 14 wounds that needed stitches, including a lacerated kidney. Evanson told KSDP her main concern now is getting better and helping police find whoever did this so he cannot do it again. I cannot imagine anyone attacking someone like that, and as a woman it is especially frightening, but I knew I had to fight back and I want him to know I am okay and that he will be caught, Evanson said. Police have called the case unusual for the level of brutality just to get a woman's purse, leading some to wonder if the assailant didn't want more than just a purse. The Minneapolis Star-Tribune, the city's largest newspaper, has been a wall on the story. The newspaper's on-duty news editor, Maria Reeve, did not return WND's call Tuesday to inquire about why it went dark on such a brutal, unprovoked attack on a defenseless, unarmed woman walking home from work. Other media, such as the Southwest Journal, have reported on the crime but left out the assailant's full description as a Somali migrant. The Sharia swamp that Minneapolis has been transformed into falls directly on the shoulders of the city's Muslim-loving mayor, Betsy Hodges. Following the death of white woman Justice Damond, who was killed by the very same Muslim police officer that Hodges fast-tracked through the police academy, the Islam-pandering woman has been on a warpath against the local community. She recently set up an anti-blasphemy hotline in her city so the Somali migrants could call and report on anyone who harassed them or spoke negatively about Islam. What's equally disturbing is that Minneapolis is becoming a hotbed for human trafficking. Hundreds of women and children are disappearing off the streets at an alarming rate, with 74 abduction cases just this year, leaving the FBI and local authorities completely frazzled. One man's eerie warning about the human trafficking epidemic went insanely viral last month, garnering over 17 million views, after his wife and daughter were nearly abducted at a local Minneapolis Target parking lot. Nahar Ali says he frequently sees vehicles mysteriously parked at the back of dark parking lots, where this pack of human traffickers go around town scouting for people to abduct. It's absolutely sickening what's going on right underneath our noses as liberals keep advocating to bring more of these third world country savages in, As the startling love affair between the left and radical Islam continues, Muslim migrants continue to prove to us that they have no intentions of assimilating into Western society, and with these anti-American morons flooding cities at an unprecedented rate, attacks on infidels will sadly become the new normal in places like Minneapolis.